Alright everyone, Tom here from Golden Goal. Final video before the FPL deadline stream on Boxing Day. And in this one, I'm going to take you through my final wildcard draft. Stick with me and I'll take you through all the positions. Okay, starting with my defence. I think this has become the Twitter sort of template really. Kepa in goal, Cancelo, Trippier and Reece James. I think Kepa offers probably the best value of any goalkeeper in the game. He seems to be the starting keeper for Chelsea now. Mendy is having some difficult contract talks with Chelsea at the moment. I think he's actually refused a renewal from them. And even before the World Cup, before his injury, Kepa was first choice. I think Potter today confirmed that he's back in the team in training, which leads me to think he's going to start against Bournemouth on in Gameweek 17. And I've gone for Cancelo, Trippier, Reece James. I think those three don't really need any introduction, really. I think Cancelo and Trippier are probably the two standout defenders in the game. Cancelo playing for Man City, who on paper might not be as good as they were in previous seasons defensively, but I do think they'll improve on the other side of the World Cup. They got some nice fixtures and a double in 20. Trippier, just been Mr. Consistent throughout the season, barely blanks. I don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't pick him going forwards. And then Reece James, I just really like the upside that he provides. I think Chelsea could keep a few clean sheets in their opening fixtures, and they've also got a double in 19 as well, which looks quite good. Whether Reece James plays the two, I don't know, but I'll happily take him starting the one and getting a few attacking returns mixed in there. So that's my defence. Okay, moving on to my midfield. I've gone for a five-man midfield, and you'll see why when I look at my strike force. I've got Almiron, Salah, Martinelli, Rashford and Saka. Almiron, top scorer midfielder in the game for 5.8 million. I don't think he should be overlooked. And if he doesn't do so well, I think there are other ways that I can bring in other players to replace him, likes of Solanke up front, etc. So I don't think I'm in too much of a hole if he doesn't do too well. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's played so well before the World Cup that probably came at the wrong time for him, to be honest. I'm just hoping that he can continue that form on the other side. Mo Salah, I've gone for him over Kevin De Bruyne. As I said in my previous videos, their underlying numbers for expected returns across the season are very similar, but Salah's are weighted more towards expected goals, whereas De Bruyne, is weighted more towards expected assists. And we all know that in FPL, goals are more point shielding than assists. So for that reason, I've gone with Mo Salah. I may change him for De Bruyne for Game Week 20 to capitalise on that double game week, but certainly for 17, 18 and 19, Mo Salah is my pick. Martinelli, I don't think he's necessarily the standout at his price now. I think you could actually go for Odegaard over him if you didn't already own him, because Odegaard actually has slightly better underlying numbers. But the simple fact is I've had him since the start of the season, and I bought him originally for 6. He's now worth 6.8, I believe. It might be 6.8, which means that I get 6.4 for selling him, and it just doesn't make sense for me to sell. So I'm going to stick with Martinelli, and to be honest, I'm perfectly happy to do with that. Like I said, I don't think he's the outstanding option at that price anymore, but I think he's good enough to keep in my team. Rashford, he doesn't really need any introduction. I think he's going to be super popular across FPL players. Looks really bright for Man United. Had a really good World Cup. Scored a cracking goal against Burnley in the week. I think he's going to have an exceptional end to his season. So for that reason, Marcus Rashford's in my team, and he's got 3 great fixtures to kick him off. And then finally, I've gone for Bukayo Saka. I just think he is absolutely as safe as houses as you can get when it comes to FPL. He's nailed to start every game, pretty much plays 90 minutes every game. He's on the penalties for Arsenal, and Arsenal were top of the league. Don't get me wrong, obviously there's no Jesus. I don't think that will negatively impact Saka too much. There was no Jesus for Arsenal last season, and Saka did just fine without him. So, yeah, I really think Saka's going to be a good choice. So, 5 men in midfield, that's who they are. And then looking at my strike force, I've gone for Darwin Núñez and obviously Erling Haaland. Don't think Erling Haaland needs any introduction. He's going to be my captain this week, no question about it. He's got the highest predicted points, as you can see there, under his name. Much higher than anyone else in my team. So for that reason, he's got to be my captain. And then Darwin Núñez is my second striker. It was a choice really between Mitrovic, Martial, Nketiah and Darwin Núñez for my second striker slot. And to be honest, Mitrovic looks like he's a doubt. I think Marco Silva confirmed that in his press conference just now. I did have Mitrovic in my team originally, but I've just got to get rid of him now. He's a doubt. I don't think I could be messing around with players that are doubts in my team. Martial, I just don't think we've seen him string enough games together to prove that he's fit in 100%. And then as for Nketiah, I just don't think he's at the level of the other players. That's where Darwin Núñez comes in. I think 9 million's quite a lot of money, and he does miss the odd chance is ridiculous. He misses quite a lot of chances, but I think his fitness record is really good. Liverpool are really good going forwards. They scored a few goals, a couple of goals against Man City, and yeah, Darwin Núñez looks to be right in there, getting goals, assists, etc. So he's in my team. I think he's a great option for 9 million. So 2 men up front, Núñez and Haaland. And to finish off the video, I'm going to give a little plug to my friends at DraftHound. I've used their website to build this team. It gives you an expected points figure and then expected points for the coming game weeks as well. And there's also an assistant manager feature where you input your team into the website, or in fact you enter your FPL ID, it'll pull your team off for you and give you the most optimal transfers for gaining points to bring you an expected points, the highest expected points 11 every week. As you can see there, mine sits on 67, which I think is one of the most ideal numbers I've seen so far from some of the drafts I've made. So yeah, really happy with this team, and I definitely recommend having a look at DraftHound, and especially the assistant manager feature, inputting your team into there and seeing what it comes out with, because I for one have found it really useful when building this team. And that concludes the video. Like I said, this is the final one before my deadline stream on Boxing Day. If you like what you saw, leave a like rating, subscribe to the Golden Goal channel, and let me know what you think of my team in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you on Boxing Day for the deadline stream.